I now open the floor to questions to our CEO panel.
Hello, I have a question for Mr. Georgantzis. It is widely known that the free float is one of the most attractive criteria for the new investors. You mentioned that the percentage of the free float is 25%. Are you willing to increase the free float in order to be more attractive as a company?
It's one of the goals, but yet our shareholders, because they also see the value that is being produced every year, our main shareholders are also are having altogether 75%, and they are also the founders. So in theory, yes, but yet we haven't managed to achieve that. Hopefully, in the next period, we will be able to do that, but it's not something that is certain at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have planes, right? You just have.
We in the transportation sector, we actually in the postal sector, we have the subsidiary called AEGEAN, which is the leader in the courier segment in the courier sector in Greece, and also operating in Cyprus and the Balkans. We used to fly actually cargo airplanes in the past, but due to the market evolution during the last 10 years and the pressure in prices, we decided to stop doing that, and that was it was at the around 2011. Imagine, so it's for many years that we don't fly our own, let's say, chartered cargo airplanes. In the past, at some time, we used to even charter an airplane from AEGEAN, but it's about 10 years ago.
Alex, sorry, there was one question for you. How did it go with Fairfax? Prem has left.
So as you know, Prem Watsa was here, is a big fan of Greece. I keep saying that with investors, value or otherwise, but value investors are the ones we want in Greece, not the ones who are here and gone tomorrow. Prem invested in Greece when times were tough. He bought Eurolife in December 2015. If you remember, capital controls, right? This man invested because he was convinced on our business model and on the management. Forget myself, the team, right? Which are the two ingredients. And he invested with capital controls in this company and has been rewarded with this amazing, I think, return of 34% annualized per year the last 5-6 years. In the case of Eurolife, in the case of insurance for Fairfax, is not an investment, is not ready to divest today. And these are the kinds of investors we need, as Prem always says, in a business-friendly environment with a business-friendly government. I think our country has a lot of potential and a lot of good people. And if you just stick to the rules, this to me is so basic. I could list here, all the things that a manager sitting on the CEO desk of an insurance company, what we worry about, distribution, the world is changing around us, challenges like having a very big profitable company, which is making, as I said, a lot of profits, great return, but the world around us is changing. So how you buy insurance, how young people buy insurance is maybe not from an agent, not the traditional way. Acquisition costs are changing. So it's very easy to fall asleep at the wheel of a cash cow, I want to say, right? And the challenge for people like me is to constantly challenge the team and say, no, we have to search for the next big thing while not disrupting the big ship. So these are what keep me. These are what get me out of bed in the morning, I shall say, and make me enjoy my job.
Are you both not happy? You're not in the airline business, right? The Richard Branson, the owner, I guess, of Virgin Airlines, he said once that the best way to become a millionaire is to start a billionaire and buy an airline. But
this
Alex,
easy to do as well. Huh?
But Alex, you are right. I mean, we need, and that's why Eurobank and Eurolife and Fairfax have supported me starting a program at the University of Athens to teach Greeks to be there for the long run, okay? To have a long-term perspective, to be patient, and quick back schemes, I guess, that may work now, but they go to business the next day. Is not the way to run a company and to run a country, right? So hopefully we'll do this one student at a time.
On this, George, if I may, and as I heard the gentleman from Quest say before me, Eurolife had the book value of 100, 200 million a few years ago. And now in dollars, our book value is just short of $1 billion, which proves that you stick to the model and you build value. And then, even in a crisis, you feel pretty good, pretty safe.
Christina, we have some questions in the chat, right?
Yes.
Can you read, please?
Okay. The first question is from Mr. Taxilaris. Are ESG initiatives important for financing? Do green bonds become more mainstream?
It's for other...
Can I take that? Because ESG, and I have to apologize because, as you know, George, I have 10 CEOs of Fairfax from around the world that I'm hosting, so I will have to leave soon. But ESG, we had a board meeting last week at Eurolife, and we had 1 hour on ESG, just to understand what is ESG first. I mean, we all understand, but if you delve into it, you find that one is what you do for your own company, but in an insurance company where we have 3.5 billion euros in investments, ESG touches who you invest in, what they do, what kind of company they are, and who you insure, who our customers are. Now, it's very easy to say, I'll pay a few dozens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. It's actually, for us, it's even a few dozens of thousands of euros, and I will balance my carbon footprint. But this is not enough if we're honest about it. At the same time, the regulators and those who impose and rightly so, impose capital requirements for insurance, for example, if they don't take into account ESG, and I just have the same capital requirements, and at the same time, I'm going to try to be ESG compliant as I want to, as an insurance company, well, in some cases, the returns are going to drop. And because capital markets are efficient, for the listed companies, it means capital is going to flow out of one industry, go someplace else in the meantime. It's not very simple. I mean, I'm 100% for it, but regulatory authorities and governments need to also be ESG cognizant, is the word I will use. It's a long discussion. I will stop here.
Mr. Georgantzis, you want to say anything about this question?
Yeah, it's a new thing. Most of our businesses are not regulated, such as insurances or banks. Therefore, for us, it's a bit different. However, we see that it's going to be a much more material thing for the future, and it also would help us in looking a lot in advance what will happen in a few years, and therefore taking some actions regarding setting, let's say, ESG goals as well, that will help us be, if you do it proactively as well, but doing again the right size as well, because again the situation again is not very clear yet, to be honest. Will help, I believe, companies when they're looking their ESG strategy and what they can do in the future to mitigate the future risks, because things are changing a lot as well. It's not just something that will come out of regulation, I believe, but because the world is changing so fast, and I would agree totally with Mr. Sarrigeorgiou that one of the challenges that we all have at the moment is how we're going to face the challenges of the future. And I believe also the pandemic, what has shown us that things are changing, could change very quickly, like we've seen what happened in the airline industry.
There are two last questions again. I see here two last questions. Christina, read them and then we'll end.
Yes, it's for Mr. Sarrigeorgiou. Mr. Panayotou says, any thoughts for more M&As in the insurance sector in Greece? Are the insurance companies too many and small on average in Greece?
The answer to the second question is yes. Most of the companies are below critical mass, and we live in a day and age which does not forgive inefficiencies. It does not mean there is no space for smaller companies, but some companies are just too small or too undiversified to go it alone. I think the trend will continue, M&A in Greece, in the insurance industry. My hope is that we will get... The government has been very pro-private insurance, but have yet to deliver on incentives, for example, tax deductibility and homeowners insurance. So my forecast is that the pie will start growing. The percentage of insurance as percent of GDP will start growing, while the number of companies will continue to diminish, especially companies that are only focused on one line of business, for example, motor, etc. That's my answer.
Okay, one more last question, Christina.
Yes, what is, in your opinion, the most efficient insurance competitor out there, and what is it doing it differently at the retail level?
I'm not going to name any names. I will say that one obvious answer that I would have given maybe a few years ago is the famous digital, direct, etc. As I mentioned, what keeps me awake at night is where is the world going and where is distribution going? And the answer is not simply digital. The answer is what experience do we sell to the customer? And by the customer, I also mean the 25-year-old who's just getting ready to get married maybe, or get a house or get a car. They will be buying insurance not through agents, and I don't mean that agents would disappear, but not the traditional way. Maybe they'll buy some insurance from a bank. I think they will be buying insurance from their phone, or maybe they'll be buying insurance bundled with other services, and they will be getting their claims paid from their phone or directly, etc., etc. The answer is not to set up a shop and sell insurance directly, or sell insurance online and then back it up by phone. I don't mean by that to diminish the accomplishments of our competitors who have such things, or our bank assurance channel, for example. But think who has distribution now. Distribution in the world is in the hands of Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google, what have you. These guys sell experiences, and we as insurers have the insurance know-how and the capacity and the capital to sell insurance. The happy medium between those two is what we're looking for. And I don't see it out there today. I will close by saying, for example, a fantastic, as an experience example is Lemonade in the US. They've been losing money for the past 10 years. So that recipe needs to be tweaked as well. So it's a work in progress.
Well, I like to thank you also very much. Thank you very much. I hope good luck. I hope we see you next year live. God bless. Good night.